topic of this video is classifying alcohols, and this will also work for alkyl halides as well. It's primary, secondary, and tertiary. If you recall from earlier, that's based on the number of carbon atoms that a carbon is bonded to, and it's the same principle here. It's just the carbon atom that is bonded to a hydroxyl group. So we'll just dive right into it. So this is a triol. It's got 3 hydroxyl groups on it. And I'm just highlighting the carbon atom in the skeletal structure, or the carbon atoms in the skeletal structure that are bonded directly to hydroxyls. And our hydroxyl on the left the carbon that I've highlighted in red there is bonded to one other carbon. Therefore, that is a primary alcohol or portion. That's a primary hydroxyl group. And there are 2 implied carbon-hydrogen bonds there. That carbon that's bonded to the hydroxyl is connected to 2 carbon atoms. Therefore, that is a secondary alcohol or portion. And then there's 1 implied carbon-hydrogen bond. Okay. And then the one on the right, you may get the theme already, but that carbon is bonded to 1, 2, 3. Again, the carbon is in red, and the carbon's box, and those colors are kind of blended together. The red carbon is bonded to 3 other carbons, therefore, that is a tertiary alcohol. And there are no carbon-hydrogen bonds. Now, why this matters is the types of reactions that alcohols undergo are going to depend on the number of carbon-hydrogen bonds. So, for example, a primary alcohol has 2 carbon-hydrogen bonds. It can undergo 2 rounds of oxidation. We'll circle back to what oxidation reactions are for alcohols a little later, but for now, classifying alcohols as primary, secondary, and tertiary is the beginning of knowing how those alcohols will react. And then, as you might suspect, secondary alcohols can undergo 1 round of oxidation. And then tertiary alcohols, since they do not have any carbon-hydrogen bonds, they will not undergo oxidation reactions because they do not have those carbon-hydrogen bonds. Oxidation, for purposes of this chapter, is losing hydrogen atoms. Okay, they take their electrons with them, but you can track it when a carbon atom loses a carbon-hydrogen bond. That's what an oxidation reaction is. So that's how you classify alcohols, primary, secondary, or tertiary. And then it's got importance for oxidation reactions that we'll discuss in a future video.